In this video, I will demonstrate some of the updates that were made in August of 2013. Let's first start by taking a look at the vehicle information. You can now add your own vehicle profiles, meaning year, make, model, etc. Let's go ahead and log into the demo account. Then we will go to Vehicles. Let's go ahead and select or add a new vehicle. Now, if you have the VIN number, this is the best way to go. And it will decode it if you just put in the VIN number and hit enter. The other option is to put in the VIN number and click decode VIN here. And now, the new addition, you can actually create your own vehicle profile. You can't add a year, but you can add everything else. Let's just say 1949. We can either click on this new icon or we can select from the list. There's none there, so let's go ahead and click new. And we'll just call this My Make. And now we get an option to select a model. Let's go ahead and add a new one. We'll call this My Model. And the same goes for the engine, body style, trim level, transmission. You can do the same thing. You can select from the list, or you can continue to add My Engine. You can do the same thing with body style, trim level, transmission name. Now, you'll notice that none of these appeared until after I selected a model year, and then only the make came up after I selected a model year, and then model came up only after I selected a year and a make. But once I selected model, all these came up. That's because these are all based on the year, make, and model. So the engine is related to the year, make, model. The body style is related to the year, make, model. The trim level, etc. That concludes the Let's move on to the next addition to the site, and that is the time clock or timekeeping for your employees and the jobs. Now, we first need to link the employee to a username. So let's go over here to the company info page under employees, and you'll see that I've already assigned the demo account to Clark, but you'll need to do the same thing for each of the employees in order to track their time. So let's go over to the employee time log. You can see I've already got some entries here. So to log in, what you would do is click new, and we're going to say time clock. We're going to click OK. Now this is going to give us error. It's going to tell us that this user's already logged in, so we can't log in until we've logged out. So let's go ahead and cancel that. You'll see here that there was no end time on this login. So what we do now is we click this end time, and that now enters the end time. And this is the amount of time in hours between the login and the logout. This was started several days ago. Now, in this situation, if an employee forgets to log out, they can go in here, edit this, they can flag it for review, and make a little note, forgot to log out. Okay? Now, job time log. You can go down here and click new job time log. Now we're going to get an error again here because we're not logged in into the time log. So we need to go up there start by logging in. Now we can go down here and enter job time log. Now again, we're going to get another error here because we didn't log out of the last job. You can see here this job is still open, so we need to be logged out of this job before we can log into another one. So let's go ahead and click end time, and that tells us how long we were logged into this job in hours. We'll go ahead and create a new job time log. Select the invoice, select the job, click OK. And there we started the job at 5:48 a.m. And then we could go over here to this one and flag it because we forgot to log out. Maybe we could just say that we were done at 5:30. Okay. Now we can go to this one and we can go ahead and let's end the time. Now you can see it was 0.2 tenths of an hour, 0.02 tenths of an hour. Now let's go over to the reports. Let's start with the employee time log. Now this is only going to be accessible by administrators of the website. You can see here the employees' names, the type of description of the employee time, start time, end time. Now you'll see the red ones. These are the ones that have been flagged by the employee. So we can click on this one, we can edit it, we can see that the employee forgot to log out, and we could adjust this time. Let's just say it was 6, and we can go ahead and uncheck it, and it now got rid of the red line and it gave us our line total. Again, the same thing here. We forgot to log out. Let's just say it was at 8:12 p.m. And you can see it now recalculated to 1 hour and 15 minutes. And the employee is still clocked in, so that's why this doesn't have an end time. And we forgot to unflag this. So there. Now that's all straight. Now you want to be able to filter these by employee. You can just go here and this will filter by the employees. You can clear out this filter. Maybe you just want a certain date range because you want to figure out their pay for the week. So you could go here to date filters and then go between, say we want to do the 2nd through the 6th. Okay. And then maybe this employee here. You can now see that they worked 0.03 tenths of an hour. Maybe we want to go to the other employee, and this employee worked 1.15 hours. And then we can use that to calculate their paycheck. Let's go over to job time log. Again, basically the same thing here as the employee time log, but this tells us the invoice and the job start end time. This one's been flagged. So let's go in here and take a look at what the employee wrote about this. Forgot to log out 5:30. So we're going to put that in there. We'll unflag it. And you'll see it updated the time from over half an hour to just about a quarter of an hour. And here is the sum of hours. Maybe you want to group this by an invoice, you can select the invoice from this list, and you can select the jobs as well. However, this invoice only had one job. Clear this out. Maybe you want to filter it by date. Again, you could select the dates that are currently there, or you can use these date filters: last week, this week, next month, so on and so forth. The past, the future, what it equals, what it's between. Now when you use between, and you use, say, the 1st and the 3rd, it's actually going to include those dates as well. So it'll be anything on the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd. And not just the date in between the 1st and the 3rd, the 2nd, but the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. The next thing we're going to go, the next update we're going to look at is the parts. You can now track old part numbers and new part numbers. Sorry, alternate part numbers. So let's say this part, let's go here and edit. You have an alternate part number of 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Copy that for a second. So, and then let's say it has 2 alternate part numbers. 4, 5, 6. Okay? Now we go over here to search by alternate part. Sorry. Search by alternate part number. Put that in there. And there it is. Could search by alternate part number 6. And again, there it is, because these alternate part numbers are what it's looking for. The other way to search by alternate part numbers, let's copy this part number. Let's clear this. Let's go into this part, and we're going to put that part number here in the alternate part number field of this part. So we put this part number in this part as an alternate part. Now what we do is we'll highlight this part, we'll go here to search for alternate part, and it's going to come up with that other part number, tell us that this is an alternate part for this part. The next thing is old part numbers. Let's go to this part. Let's edit it. Let's say the old part number was this. Before it was updated to this. So now we want to search by old part number. Put that old part number in here. Click OK. And there it brings up that part, because the old part number is this number here. Now the system will automatically copy the old part number down here when you update the part number here. So let's change the part number. You'll see it now added that old part number here, separated by a comma. These part numbers in the old part numbers and the alternate part numbers need to be separated by a comma. Click OK. Let me just copy this old part number. We can search by old part number. And there it is. Now there's another way to update the part numbers, and that is if you're using a purchase order. See this part here? Let's go ahead and edit this, and we're going to say the new part number is 88888. copy that so I have it. Okay. We're going to process this item. Now we go over here to parts, and we're going to search by old part number. I'm sorry. We're just going to search by the part number that we just changed, and we're going to take a look at it, and you can see that it took the old part number, put it in this list, and then updated the part number in our inventory. The next video is going to look at all of this under the Customer Relationship Marketing tab. And that concludes the video on the updates for August 2013.